Sukha Upavisteshu Atha Teshu Bhuyaha Kruta Pranamaha Swachikirsitam Yat Vijñapayam Asa Vivikta Cheta Upastitaha Agre Abhigrihita Panihi Sukopavisteshvatateshu Bhuyaha Vrita Pranama Swachikirsitam Yam Vijñapayamasa Vivikta Cheta Upastito Gre Bhigrihita Panihi Sukopavisteshvatateshu Bhuyaha Kruta Pranama Swachikirsitam Yam Vijñapayamasa Vivikta Cheta Upastito Gre Bhigrihita Panihi Upavisteshvatatesha Bhuyaha Gre Bhigrihita Panihi Upavisteshvatateshu Cheta Upastito Sukha happily Upavisteshu all sitting down Atha thereupon Teshu unto them the visitors Bhuyaha again Krita Pranamaha having offered obeisances Swa his own Chikirsitam decision of fasting Yat who Vijñapayamasa submitted Vivikta Cheta one whose mind is detached from worldly affairs Upastitaha being present Agre before them Abhigrihita Panihi humbly with folded hands. Translation purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Translation. After all the rishis and others had seated themselves comfortably, the king, humbly standing before them with folded hands, told them of his decision to fast until death. Please repeat. After all the rishis and others had seated themselves comfortably, the king, humbly standing before them with folded hands, told them of his decision to fast until death. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Although the king had already decided to fast until death on the bank of the Ganges, he humbly expressed his decision to elicit the opinions of the great authorities present there. Any decision, however important, should be confirmed by some authority. That makes the matter perfect. This means that the monarchs who ruled the earth in those days were not irresponsible dictators. They scrupulously followed the authoritative decisions of the saints and sages in terms of Vedic injunction. Maharaj Parikshit, as a perfect king, followed the principles by consulting the authorities even up to the last days of his life. The Sanstha Bhaktivedanta Parpoto Majnana Timiran Dhasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshuran Militam Ena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Nitinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Pashyacha Deshatarine Jayo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So this is, we are reading from the chapter titled Appearance of Shukadeva Goswami. So here Parikshit Maharaj Sukopavishteshu Atateshu Bhuyaha. The visitors, that means the great rishis and sages, they have come to that place and they have comfortably seated. Sukopavishteshu. And then after they sat comfortably, the king standing before them, Upastita Agre, he was standing before them, Abhigruhita Pani, with the folded hands. Then Vijnapayamasha, he has submitted his decision. Here it is mentioned Parikshit Maharaj's Vivikta Cheta is detached from, they become very attached. And then it is very difficult for them to come out of that position, because you become so attached to it. The king used to think that I am very important personality. If I am not there, like Prime Minister, one of our Prime Ministers, he openly said, if I am not there, this country will collapse. After he died, 50 years have passed by. Country has not collapsed, going on. So, the kings used to rule their kingdom without developing material attachments, without developing any attachment. One has to execute his duties, worldly duties, without any attachment. And then here, Parikshit Maharaj is a big emperor. There are so many subordinate kings, and he is extremely powerful. He could chastise even personality of Kali. And when he came to know about his impending death, he decided to fast until death. He decided. Before even coming to Ganges, banks of Ganges, the king has decided to fast until death. But here we see very interestingly such a powerful king. He has taken a decision after proper Vivikta Cheta, proper calculation. But still, he submitting to the rishis and sages about his decision. He is trying to elicit their comments, their opinion about his decision. Such a big king, such a powerful king, but still he is not a dictator. He is verifying with the sages and rishis to see whether his decision is okay or not. And then the sages used to advise him based on Vedic principles, and the king used to follow very scrupulously. Today, the world is witnessing a fierce war between Israel and a terrorist group called Hamas. This is in the Middle East. When the Hamas terrorist group, they suddenly attacked Israel on one very important festival day of the Jews. And people are all in the celebration, in the mode of celebration, and suddenly these terrorists came and very cruelly they have killed hundreds and thousands of these Palestinians. So in revenge, Palestine has attacked the neighboring place, part of the Palestine. It's called Gaza. And then started chasing these terrorists, Hamas, wherever they are, they want to kill. And then many, their videos have surfaced where the terrorists, how they are killing. In one video, of course I have not seen, in one video they killed the woman, they tore the stomach and killed the baby inside. And they are shooting and then sending it to everybody. This is the terrorists, And Palestinians, by seeing the Israel people, by seeing all these things, they are saying, yes, we are going to wipe out this Gaza and these terrorist groups. So both the countries are fighting. Palestine is not directly fighting. That is not their strategy. Always there will be some terrorist groups who will start fighting. Here what we see is both the sides, the leaders are very safe. All the leaders are very peacefully, they are seated in the AC rooms. Radha Gokulananda case. Even in Russia and Ukraine war, the leaders are having good time. They have a very exciting time. Now, who are the people who are suffering here? The common citizens. The citizens also deserve this because they have elected such people. Prabhupada says in democracy, you cannot blame the leader because he is declared himself as a fool and rascal, but then we go and select all of these leaders. And then what is happening? No responsibility. The other day, they gave an order. Within 24 hours, you all should move from south to north. They told the citizens to move from south to north because they are going to invade the place. Now, how many people have to move? 11 lakhs. That many people with their families, they have to move from one place to another place, and they gave 24 hours. And after that, they are going to bomb. This is the scenario. Look at Kurukshetra battle. All the heroes of the world, they have moved away to an isolated place called Kurukshetra. And they have shown their own individual prowess. They fought according to Vedic principles. You won't hear one woman died. You don't hear one child died. All the heroes who came there, they came willingly. They took a decision. and then they came there and then they fought. Whereas you see the current situation, all innocent women, children, old people, sick people, people who have no idea what is war, they are not trained up. They are all been killed. This is the scenario. So the leaders, they take decisions. Yes, you have to move this way, that way, that way. But then they don't consult anybody. Here Parikshit Maharaj is consulting all the great rishis and the sages that I decided to fast until death. What do you think? Actually, we will see in the next few shlokas what Parikshit Maharaj is expressing his mind. So, any perfect life, particularly in spiritual life, one has to consult authority. Prabhupada is saying here, any decision, however important, should be confirmed by some authority that makes the matter perfect. Let us say you got a brilliant idea, decided, yes, you want to do this, but better to consult some authority, your immediate authority. In the spiritual life, you have to consult your immediate authority. Otherwise, some local, in the material things, whoever is the authority, we don't mind, we don't hesitate to take their opinions, their experience in any subject matter. Like yesterday, we went to see one land. And initially I decided, yes, this looks good. But after going there, we saw, and then by by hearing someone and by verifying someone, we understood that this may not be the good place. And then, so we were started discussing with some local people. So we got some good understanding, yes, what is to be done and what is not to be done. So everywhere one may be taking some decision, but it should be open for changes. First of all, we become very attached to our decisions or our thought processes. We become very attached to our ideas. If an idea comes from our mind, our intelligence, then we become very attached. And I have seen some people, their idea, they will not change. How much ever you tell, whatever intelligence it is, they will not. This is my idea and that's it. My idea has to be implemented. This will be the mode. Actually, I have seen some people, they hold on to their idea and they may even die, but they will not change. In the outside world we see this. Like two people were quarreling, it seems. Some, I forgot the context. Some quarrel is there. Somebody is saying it happened by knife. And somebody is saying, no, it happened by scissors. Something has happened, there is a quarrel. How it happened? One is saying by knife and one is saying by scissors. Both of them are fighting, arguing and fighting. Nobody is willing to change their opinion. And then this knife wala is a little strongly built. So during the fighting, what he did, he took this other man and threw him into the river. And that other man is struggling. It's a big river, he is struggling. And then he doesn't know how to swim and is drowning. While drowning, he is saying like this, scissors. And then he drowned. Till last moment, they stick on to their decisions, their ideas, all these things. So, here Parikshit Maharaj Till his last moment he is consulting the rishis and sages. Look at this culture. See here Prabhupada is saying, Maharaj Parikshit as a perfect king followed the principles by consulting the authorities even up to the last days of his life. See? So, what is the idea? The idea is, in every field, particularly in the spiritual field, one has to learn this dependence. Depending on the authorities, depending on Guru, depending on Krishna. Our entire training is only this. How to depend, how to surrender, this is what Krishna conscious training means. Outside world it's ulta. They want to become independent as quickly as possible. They don't want to depend on anybody. See, you understood? Spiritual training means to develop our dependence. There is a feeling, there is a humility that, I may not know everything. It is better I consult. That's why Prabhupada is saying, if confirmed by some authority, then it becomes perfect. This should be the goal of our spiritual training. It's not about our decision, but it should be confirmed by someone. Here, one thing that we hear is Sukhopavishteshu Atateshu Bhuyaha. The visitors are comfortably seated. This is also an important point, that as an institution, how we should receive the visitors, how we should handle them. They are also devotees, particularly they are coming as guests of the Supreme Lord. The visitors have to be seen like that. They are guests. So here they are all guests of Parikshit Maharaj. And then they were made such arrangements that everybody sukhasina, peacefully, happily they sat down. So we should try to ensure as much as possible that they are all comfortably situated, and then it becomes easy to preach. Always we should ensure that the other person is comfortably situated, and then we can preach. Prabodhananda Saraswati, he gives this formula, how to make other person comfortable. What is that formula? He says, first of all, we should approach very humbly. In Vedic times, humble means they will put one grass piece in the teeth. If you put a piece of grass in your mouth and then you approach anybody, that means people know that you are approaching very humbly. If you take a sword and approach, people know that you are coming to fight. And this is the indication. And then after approaching, it is said that he will be busy, he don't want to listen, and then he will be thinking, who is this person who is coming? So we are supposed to glorify. Hey Sadhava, you are such a nice, great, saintly person. In the entire city, you are the first, number one, Dharmatma. You are the greatest saintly person. So like that, one has to approach. Then finally he will think, okay, Swamiji is so much, humbly glorifying, so let me hear. What do you want to say? The point is that yes, one has to be ensure that when you are about to give this philosophy, people are so proud, they don't want to listen to anybody. Yeah, they always want to talk. That's why when you approach some big people, one of the important things is you have to listen. Nicely listen, and then after listening, glorify. Oh, you did this, oh, you did that. And then once he is comfortable, then we will present our philosophy. We present our particular information. So here the sages are seated very happily. Upavishteshu, all sitting down very happily. Actually, this is the first qualification in spiritual life. One has to execute their day-to-day duties happily. That's why Goswami says the first qualification is to be enthusiastic. Happily enthusiastic one has to do. Now, tat karma pravattanat, we are executing our duties under the direction of the spiritual master, but then we are trying to be enthusiastic, but we don't feel happy sometimes. That's why the next point that is told is usaha dhairya. Dhairya means patient. We may not become happy immediately, so one has to be patient. And then nischayat, one has to be confident that yes, one day I will also come to that stage. These first three items, enthusiastic, then patience and confidence, most important elements. If these three are missing, there will be depression in the mind. People will become depressed because they have no enthusiasm in life. They have no patience, and then they have no confidence in his life. So that's why we should be very. Now, how is it that sometimes we become very dull and this and that, and there is no. The spiritual life has to be built carefully. The first important contemplation in our mind should be that I am a servant of Guru and Krishna. I am a humble servant of Srila Prabhupada. This should be continuously, you should inculcate in your consciousness. The first training is to think that I am a servant of my spiritual master. Prabhupada wants me to come for Mangalarati. Yes, I will be ready. You have to first develop your identity, not just processes, do's and don'ts. That is tat karma pavattana. We know all the do's and don'ts. But if you want to become enthusiastic, you should feel relationship with the spiritual master. Relationship with Krishna. Through the agency of the spiritual master. That relation will drive you. You become excited to satisfy a personality, a great personality, and that pulls you again and again. This is personalism. Why are you coming to Mangalarati? Because my spiritual master has told me. I am servant of my spiritual master. Yes. While having darshan, yes, I am eternal servant of such great personality, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So you all should read these secrets which are mentioned in, I think, SSR, where Prabhupada is offering his Vyasa Puja offering to his spiritual master. Amazing chapter it is. You should read. Prabhupada says, when I feel that I am servant of Krishna, I become ecstatic. There's so much of happiness. When I see that he has performed so many pastimes, and when I think that I am servant of such a wonderful personality, one will be automatically happy. These are the secrets of happiness. Happiness comes by personalism. Rules and regulations will become very easy. Prabhupada has today, let us say you seated in front of prasadam. Initially, we were aspiring, we were hankering for prasadam before we joined or when we came in touch with Krishna consciousness. Why all that has gone? Because now we start thinking in terms of variety, thinking in terms of the taste. They're all important, not saying no. But there is a higher level of thinking. This prasadam is given by my spiritual master, given by Krishna. My Lord has sent. I am being maintained by Prabhupada. My Guru has sent. So one should start developing relation with the Guru as father. He is my father. You should go on thinking. He is my spiritual father. Who maintains, who protects children? Father. So disciples are maintained and disciples are protected by the spiritual master. You should literally say, Father. He is my father. We have no other fathers, we have no other mothers, nothing. I am now part of the family of Prabhupada and Krishna. This is my family. He is my father. Then where is the feeling of, what to say, I have no loneliness, or I have nobody, or Anantyas, because we don't practice bhakti in terms of the relationship. Sambandha means we understood the relation, but abhideya, in terms of relationship, that relational exchange is technically called as rasa. Your thinking should be in terms of the rasa. Actually, we all do that automatically. For example, when you are going to meet a big donor, what will you do first? You will try to understand. You will Google or you talk to someone or try to get as much details as possible. And then particularly you will be interested in what will make him happy. Let us say you come to know he is a big diabetic. Then will you carry one big box of sweets or one box of kara? We all know. See how we think in terms of the person, personal taste and this and that. This is the mood that we have to continue to maintain when we are dealing with Guru and Krishna. What will make Prabhupada like that? So that kind of a development of that feeling, that is permanent. You will not feel boring or unenthusiastic. Every day there is a lot of interaction with Guru and Krishna. They are interacting. They are ready. They are already interacting. When you are chanting, same Radha Gokulananda, they are coming as Shabda onto your tongue to deliver you. Same Radha Gokulananda. So we should not think that Krishna who is coming onto my tongue is different from this Krishna and they are different from this Krishna in Bhagavatam. We segregate and compartmentalize. And then, we don't see that actually the same Lord is so active in my life. We don't perceive. But otherwise, every day, in various forms, the same Lord is extremely active in our life. So, once we understand that, then we become very sensitive about not to offend or not to displease those great personalities, magnanimous personalities. So we try to be very cautious and try to get every detail confirmed. Let us say Prabhupada doesn't like something. How can we offer that? So we become very concerned. What do you feel? This is good, this is better. So there are authorities in that field. So we should confirm. Because we are worried, I don't want to offend anybody. Not only Guru and Krishna, we should not offend Vaishnavas. Without Vaishnava Seva, you will never get any taste in chanting. The proper taste in chanting will come only by Vaishnava Seva. Particularly the Vaishnavas who completely surrendered to serve holy name, their seva is very important. And those devotees who surrendered and living in the mission, they should also ensure that there are no offenses in their day-to-day exchanges. And so, if somebody can manage their life without such offenses, then increasingly he will become enthusiastic. Increasingly he will become happy. Otherwise, something will be dragging in the mind. Mind becomes very, very, the mind's prominence becomes very big in our lives. If one is completely controlled by mind, then how he can be happy? Prabhupada says, go Dasa means controlled by mind and senses. And go Swami means controlled by Guru. See, we have to be controlled. Now whether mind controls or Guru controls, this is the point. Okay, so never be absorbed in your mind and what goes on there and what it is saying and become panicky about those, the mental picture and this and that. No, this is not our life. We are supposed to be controlled by what Guru has given, how he described Krishna, and excited by Krishna, Krishna's pastimes. This is our life. So, here you can see Parikshit Maharaj, although he has reached such an exalted stage, still last moment he is following the principle which is to take consultation from one more authority. So, as sadhakas, this crucial point has to be understood. We all have to consult our authorities. Temple president, he consults the GBR, and GBR consults the GBC, and GBC consults Srila Prabhupada, and GBC consults other senior Vaishnavas of Prabhupada's disciples, senior disciples. Nobody wants to be independent like that. We're all scared actually to be independent. No, we want to conform and then modify, take decision. This is an important point. Prabhupada says the greatest danger will come to our movement if we introduce any speculative things, particularly in deity worship, particularly in some aspects of the movement. See, he says the greatest danger will come. So that's why we all want to be very careful. We don't want to innovate and speculate anything. So like that, all the devotees are cautious not to bring in anything immature, not to bring in any independent thought. They all want to be very careful. Okay? So that humility if you develop, you will be very happy. Actually, devotee should feel happy that, okay, some confirmation has come, I am free. You should be happy like that. But it's you may say, no, sometimes even I see some authorities, their decisions may be wrong. It's okay. You have confirmed, you are safe. You be happy. If something is not working according to the decision, he will change his decision. None of the leaders are egoistic like that. No, I mean, mera mouth se aa gaya, that's it. That is praman, that is shastra. He will not think like that. Everybody is willing to change, adopt, and particularly the current circumstances are so much changing, so fast. Sometimes we have to change our decisions. So fast it is. So we have to change. Okay, so When it comes to management decisions, you should know that there is they can change, but principles will not change. You should not think everything is changing in my life. No, principles will not change. The principles given by Prabhupada, the principles given by Bhagavatam, they will not change. What changes is only application. It's okay. For example, instead of white paint, you may put some other color paint. That will not change any. That is actually not a change actually. There has to be something, some paint. So, either this color or that color, you leave it to the authority. Okay, so management decision, don't put your head. Then head goom gaya. It will be spinning. First of all, we will not understand why that decision is being taken. We will not understand. Then when you apply your mind, and then you will see there are so many, apparently it may look like it is not good, this and that. Actually, you will lose your happiness. We deliberately lose a lot of our happiness because we put our head into many things. Our goal should be, let me happily do my services, approved services, take any decisions, take permission, just happily go on. Don't put our head into everything that is happening all around you. We are not almighty lords. This information we cannot swallow. Digestion issues aa jayega. So much information bombardment nowadays. Similarly, management related, this related, that temple did this, that person did this is this. Hare Krishna. I cannot handle all these things. I am a very simple, small person, boy. Let me just maintain my consciousness, do my service nicely. Prabhupada recognizes my service. Let me keep him satisfied. My service should attract his attention. And as a humble servant of servant, you will attract the attention more. As a servant of servant, you will be much more dear to Srila Prabhupada. That should be our target. And then don't put your head into non-service areas. Whatever your service is there you put your head. So here Parikshit Maharaj, of course his service area is very big, but he still is not a dictator. You can see he has followed those spiritual principles. And then finally you can see the result. He has attained the perfection. We'll stop here. Any questions?
Hare Krishna. Please subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon. Never miss any update.